The member from Prince Albert Northcote.
We believe that the fundamental objective of public office is to serve our fellow citizens with integrity in order to improve the economic and social conditions of all Saskatchewan people. Mr. Deputy Speaker, this direct quote is taken from the Legislative Assembly's Code of Ethical Conduct for Members of the Legislative Assembly, as found on our website at legassembly.sk.ca. But these are not just words on a website. They're an inspiration for action. Action that helps maintain a strong economy. Action that puts money back into the pockets of those that need it. Action that provides traditional assistance for those who need it. And action that focuses on programs that help people make the transition from poverty. Mr. Speaker, it truly is an honour to participate in this debate. I thank the member opposite for bringing up the issue of reduction of poverty in Saskatchewan. It really provides me the opportunity to highlight the many actions that we have taken to improve the economic and social conditions of all Saskatchewan people. Together, my colleagues and I have taken a multi-pronged approach and made a commitment to a holistic cross-government solutions. The message from Kelvington Wadena member and who is our Minister of Social Services says it so eloquently. And I quote from the document From Dependence to Independence that says, "We are also measured by our efforts to ensure the needs of the most vulnerable members of our society are met." Mr. Speaker, the members opposite can talk about taking action now. Well, we're 2 steps ahead of them all the time. The caseload, our member opposite said the caseload is horrendous. Well, let's compare the results of undisciplined rhetoric to our disciplined action. The child welfare caseloads, when the NDP were in government, rose by 53%. And we'll just compare those 7 years from 2000 to 2007. What we are doing is we are working on 4 pillars: sustaining a strong economy, ensuring our citizens have more disposable income, removing barriers to independence, providing financial support to our most vulnerable citizens. Mr. Deputy Speaker, our actions are fulfilling a commitment of our growth plan. We have purchased an additional 300 training seats. Now, in the Saskatchewan Apprenticeship Trade and Trade Certification Commission, we now have 6,700 training seats. We have increased training allowances and income support to support 1,000 new apprenticeship and ABE opportunities. Mr. Speaker, the member from my colleague that just finished talking in the House here indicated Coronation Park, thank you, indicated that we have been increasing all of these helps for our most vulnerable. Well, now we have 6,700 opportunities for apprenticeship training funding. Mr. Speaker, the member from Athabasca can talk about whether we pay attention to First Nations or not. Here are some statistics that will help him understand just where the First Nations and Métis are participating in Saskatchewan's bright future. We have 68% of adult basic education learners that are First Nations and Métis. Well, we have put 25% of our ABE budget for on-reserve programming. We have Aboriginal participation increasing in apprentices we now have 13.8% of total apprentices are First Nations. Our First Nations are part of our Saskatchewan economy. Note that that is almost the same as the ratio of First Nations in our province. So our disciplined action speaks far louder than any undisciplined rhetoric the NDP will throw around. Mr. Speaker, we have what I like to call the hub and core in the first in Prince Albert. It is a model that is being recognized around our province and across the world. Because of the leadership that is shown by our city, we have 10 active hubs in the province in Prince Albert, Yorkton, La Ronge, North Battleford, Moose Jaw, Estevan, Weyburn, Nipawin, Lloydminster, Swift Current and Saskatoon. I would like to point out that since the implementation of the hub in Prince Albert, we have seen an overall crime rate decreased by 18% and violent crime rate decreased by 38%. Not only that, we are being recognized around the world. Just yesterday, the Star Phoenix highlighted, on the May 6th Star Phoenix, highlighted that PA serves as a role model. And its ability, and this is a quote, its ability to get results comes primarily from a willingness to look at evidence, weigh and adopt those measures that are deemed successful, and adjust those measures that fall flat. Mr. Speaker, we are full of action, not undisciplined rhetoric like the opposite members like to. Mr. Speaker, we also have reduced we have taken actions to increase the minimum wage over 25%. What that means is that we are now going to have a minimum wage that is over $10 per hour, compared to $7.95 in 2007. Mr. Speaker, in 2008 and again in 2011, our government increased the basic spousal exemption amounts and the dependent child tax credit amount. What that means is that a Saskatchewan family of 4 or more with an income of $75,000 is expected to pay less in total provincial taxes and utilities than their counterparts in any other Canadian province. Mr. Speaker, in the North, those people that need a little helping hand up, our income assistance recipients, receive an additional $50 per person per month in recognition of higher food costs. Again, actions speak louder than undisciplined rhetoric. Mr. Speaker, our citizens are pulling together. We are working shoulder to shoulder to reach Saskatchewan's full potential. We are looking at a bright future that includes the most vulnerable. It helps people make the transition from poverty. Mr. Speaker, in the senior income plan, we see that we have increased benefits under the senior income plan. We have constructed long-term care facilities in Biggar, Kelvington, Kipling, Maple Creek, Prince Albert. We have increased funding for urgent issues, and we call it the Urgent Issues Action Fund. And this will continue to improve services in long-term care facilities. Mr. Speaker, I can keep going on and on and on about how our record clearly indicates our government's propensity to act. Our actions speak louder than words. We are creating a reduction in poverty. We are helping the people of our province, all people of our province. When I talked about the seniors' income plan, let's compare the failure of the NDP with their undisciplined rhetoric and the success of disciplined action. The NDP failed to increase the senior income plan between 1992 and 2007, and they have the audacity to say that they are taking care of the most vulnerable. Mr. Speaker, Saskatchewan has the third lowest percentage of seniors living in low income in Canada. Disciplined action versus undisciplined rhetoric. Mr. Speaker, the member from Coronation Park indicated that we have reduced the percentage of persons on low income, The headline in the Star Phoenix on December 5th indicated Saskatchewan NDP fails to reduce child poverty. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I recognize the member from Prince Albert Northcote.
I thank the member opposite for that question. Our actions speak louder than any rhetoric that the NDP throw. Our actions have, from Stats Canada information, indicated that between 2006 and 2011, there is now a 50% reduction in the percentage of persons in low income.
Here, here. Here.
Our actions are creating a reduction in poverty in our province.
Here, here.
We walk the talk. For example, we have a provincial training allowance which provides income support for adult students with low income and basic education and related studies. Mr. Speaker, we have the lowest unemployment rate in Canada.
Here, here.
Recognize the member from Prince Albert Northcote.
I thank the member opposite for the question. Our record clearly indicates our government's propensity to act. Disciplined action produces positive results. Here's one of them. Saskatchewan offers supports to working families through Saskatchewan Employment Supplement, the Saskatchewan Rental Housing Supplement, and the Child Care Subsidy. These supplementary income programs lower the welfare wall by assisting low-income families to make the transition out of poverty while remaining in the paid workforce. Thank you, Mr. Deputy Speaker.
Here, here.